How are you guys doing today? Joshua Dennis from OFD Media. Today I'll be interviewing.
Abraham, Abraham Rooks, yes sir.
It's all good. So pretty much, I was going to kind of start with you know, when did you first start playing basketball?
When I started playing, like originally I was around like 4 or 5. Now this is just like blacktop, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't really start playing constructive basketball until my ninth grade year, freshman high school, which was like 13.
How was your experience at Wayne Memorial? Like when you got there, like what would you really expecting coming in?
Um, what I expected coming in, I really didn't know actually until like our first couple of practices freshman year. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? We worked out in a different way that I never knew about, and it was really hardcore, real.
I mean, like, how was your game kind of grown over your high school career? Kind of just in that 2 year span, I would say like where you got most of your minutes.
I would say like just being more of a leader. You know what I'm saying? I knew like my gift was just energy. Like I knew all the time, even if I didn't know what I was doing, I'm gonna play with energy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but just knowing how to mesh a team together, like just being a leader for a team and like in the background, making the team come together, doing funny stuff. And I feel like that was one of my biggest components that I learned.
What was some of your if you remember some of your accolades out of high school, or like what was your best games, like anything like that knowledge?
Best games was when I think my best game when I scored the most is when we killed Churchill for like 70. I was getting, I was getting to my mid range, shooting shots, getting layups, getting steals, fast break, stuff like that. But that was my best game. But my most favorite game was we versus UD. That was
Mm-hmm.
my favorite game.
Said we were teammates at a point in time, so I know that UOD game honestly felt like the biggest game of the century, the
Oh
decade at this
yeah, for
point.
sure. Yes.
But I kind of want to go into like a little bit of the mindset kind of things, coming from like kind of a hard nosed program with Coach Brooks. Like, what do you feel is your mentality every time you play basketball?
Really, uh, at the end of the day, it's always play hard, but at the same time, for the guys that I play with now, they some goofballs. You know what I'm saying? So like when I be trying to put them on to like, bro, like this is what you got to do and this stuff like that. But then they just kind of be playing around. So like coming from a program like Brooks program, it kind of taught me to be like, all right, I already know what to do. I've already been through the fire. Now I can really cheat these guys. But the only way for me to do that is I have to be more productive. So that's
Mm-hmm.
really just my goal. The coming from high school to this college, it's a big transition because they don't push you in college. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You got to push yourself, wake up 4 a.m., all that type of stuff. So I learned a lot in how coach already prepared us for everything. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely, especially now with how college recruiting is going, the junior college level, and all of these people consider under levels of basketball. It's really all becoming an even playing field. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, you just mentioned about being a more productive player, and like looking ahead, what is one of your goals next year being at Schoolcraft?
One of my next goals is really most of all just being the best player on the team. You know what I'm saying? I know like, and that's not just points. That's just like leadership wise. That's probably even in grades. That's just being like best player on the team. But most of all, just knowing how I can be my best self.
Hmm.
Reaching my full potential and stuff like that, pushing past my limits. So that's really my next goal, and to go back to nationals and win it all this time.
Yeah, shoot. I mean, you guys what made it? How many games in?
We made it in the second round, so it's really like the first game there.
I mean,
Yeah,
shoot,
yeah.
like in Michigan JUCO right now, like the East seems to be dominating the state, so it's not like it was an easy way to get there. You have to win the what is it, the region and the district, and then you have to get all the way up there. But I kind of want to ask you something about like not about basketball. What's something that Abraham Rooks does in his free time?
And Abraham Rooks' free time, uh, Abraham Rooks listens to a lot of music. Um, yeah, I'm very musically inclined. Got some instruments, some guitars, and some keyboards. So I've been working on that because you never know when you gotta pop out and just do something fire. But I have been working too, trying to get the bread up. I'm just put that to the side and invest later on.
Definitely.
But yeah, and really just trying to keep my relationship sharpened with God,
Mm-hmm.
Christ specifically, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But yeah, it just be really cooling. You know what I'm saying? That's really all it is.
It's important. I know a lot of young men to have Christ-focused motivation, and then having
Yeah.
discipline with your pockets as well, especially with this just kind of growing up first couple years in college. On the back end of things now, like who do you really credit? It could be players, it could be family, it could be anybody for helping you get to this point now.
First, I would credit um, you see my family for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Cause like my mom always took me to practices, even after I told her we was going through. But she was like, she didn't understand it, but she still was like, okay, I see this is something that you would like to do, so I'm gonna push you, to do it. And then my coaches, they kind of not kind of, but they really taught me like just work ethic. If you and it poured into not just basketball, but to school and all that other stuff. It's like if you really want something, you're just gonna have to work for it. That's how it is. And I like to credit even you, teammates from high school. The relationships that we built together. We looked out for each other all the time, took me home and stuff like that. And I would really just say, even like my pastor and stuff, prayer and stuff like that. So yeah.
Community is like, who are we without it? What keeps you motivated on a day-to-day basis? Because I mean, doing all of the things you say you're doing,
hmm
that could be a lot for somebody. So like, what keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated? Uh, honestly, would just be Christ. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I know a lot of people don't understand that, but it's just he's hope. My faith is my hope. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like if I got my hope, okay, I'm already set for whatever where I'm trying to go to. So if I'm gonna do the hooping, I know whatever happens, I still got my faith, still got my hope. Whatever happens with my body, whatever happens with my family, I still got the hope. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's really what keep me motivated and just seeing and talking to different people who's already successful. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like seeing their lifestyles and then how they tell me like, okay, you can do this and do that and do this. So that's what inspires me and keeps me motivated for sure.
Speaking on advice, what is your advice for younger players coming up?
My advice for younger players, um, it would definitely be like overcome procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that's probably the number one thing, overcome procrastination because it's two different types of pain. Like the number one, like the first pain is like the pain that you go through when you're actually doing what you're supposed to do. And the second pain is thinking about it all day or just
Mm-hmm.
thinking about it like all year and just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be doing it and you just like, dang, bro, why am I? So it's like choose your pain. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to, I would rather be like going through the pain while I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to do. So that's the number one thing I would say.
Do you plan on continuing this on as long as you can take it, or are you really just you want to stick with sports, you want to go into something else? Like, what's your end goal? Like, if you could have your way, what's your end goal?
All right, my end goal would definitely be get a scholarship from some D1s or some D2s,
Mm.
to extend my collegiate career. And then I would say um, get into like probably more like investing, like money wise. I would say I want to get more into investing and like get a role with that, and then get a role with like even coaching, like after basketball,
Mm-hmm.
even after like college and stuff like that. I would say probably get into the role of like leading teams and the youth and stuff like that.
There you guys have it. That's Abraham Rooks. Man, he just seems to be a very inspirational person, high full of energy, and this is definitely somebody you want to have in your team in the future. And we're just gonna sit here and pray and wish and hope for the best for this young man and everything that he got going on too. And this is one of my guys, my number one guys of all time. So you
Yes,
know,
sir.
thank you, Abraham, for the interview today, man. And just I'm gonna holler at you later, bro.
All right, bet on the seed.